In this video I will show you how you can Photoshop yourself with a wild animal. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe if you want to learn Photoshop and become a better creator. Alright, start with taking a picture of yourself. I use a cheap camera, and as you can see I don't have a studio, I just do it in my kitchen. Actually I took a bunch of pictures and chose the best one. After that I made a sketch of the idea. Then start with cutting yourself out from the background. For this I use the pen tool. With the pen tool you get a precise cut of all your subjects, but you can use other methods, but I recommend using this one. Once you got that, make a selection and leave the radius at 1 pixel so you have a soft edge. After that make a mask. Now select solid color as an adjustment layer and make the background gray. With gray you can see this really good if you got a nice cut on it. And as you can see the hair doesn't look right, so we can fix that. Select a mask and brush the edges of your hair, especially if you have hair sticking out like me. Press OK and that's it for this one. Now we're going to select the clone stamp tool. With the clone stamp tool you can fix all these edges, so just make a selection, hold down Alt and bring it to the edge of your photo. Now to our wild animal. Repeat all these steps with your animal. If you want all the details of the animal you can draw these whiskers with a pen tool, because when you cut them out they are gone. Once you are satisfied with your animal and your photo, create a new file and drag them both into this file. Once you got them into this file, don't forget to make a smart object so you don't ruin the quality of these images when we resize them. And now just play around until you get a nice place where you want to put them. And now it's time to make the colors right. So what you have to do here is try to make these colors look good together. So I have a red jacket here, which, well, it wasn't a good choice actually, but it doesn't matter, I got rid of that color. I tried to make this more bluish, because in the dark you can see a little bit more blue than red and all those happy colors. So I dropped all the colors of it with the saturation. So what you need to do here is to try to get rid of all those bright colors. Don't affect the color of your skin too much, because you don't want to ruin the color of your skin. Just those happy colors in your clothing. Play around with these sliders and you will see exactly what's happening to your image. And I also dropped this red from my jacket. So for this red I actually made a different hue saturation layer. So I just selected red here and drop this all the way down. And I want to make sure this red didn't affect my skin color. So what I did was I also dropped the lightness here, and after that I dropped it even more and tried to figure out which was the best. And I select this layer mask and press Ctrl or Command I invert this color and get rid of it. After that I just use a normal brush to brush these parts back again where I applied this effect. So with this you can delete some bright colors like I had. Photoshop can be boring, so let's look at this. There are more tigers held privately as pets than there are in the wild. Tiger's urine smells like popcorn, actually buttered popcorn. Yeah, that's really weird. And tigers normally don't view humans as a prey. They tend to attack only humans when they feel threatened, unless you look delicious. There was once a tiger born that looked like this. Alright, that's not true. Back to Photoshop. Right, this is where the difficult part starts. Create a new layer here and use a normal brush and bring down the opacity and flow to around 30 or 40%. And start brushing all these areas that are going behind your face and behind this tiger. So this was really difficult for me, because I couldn't figure out what was wrong here. I figured out that, alright, my photo looked okay, but the tiger did not look okay. What was wrong? I did not understand it. And I figured out, alright, this is how my photo looked like. There's nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with this tiger? So maybe I should use this one. Nah, let's forget that one. I started off with another animal. So I did all these steps again. I'll also start with blending everything together and doing all this brushing and all the other stuff that I did before. I also used the burn tool to get some areas even darker. So in these areas that are going behind this animal or behind my face, I used a little bit of the burn tool, and with the burn tool it came out a lot better. So don't forget to use the burn tool, especially when you have a lighter animal like this with some light fur. You can brush all these areas darker to get more details in them and to get more contrast, and to make sure that some areas are darker than other ones and it doesn't look like a flat image. So start with highlights, then midtones, then the shadows. And what I noticed was the problem was the photo. It wasn't the same quality as my photo. So try to use photos that are the same quality as yours. If you don't do that, you will spend a lot of time trying to fix things, but they won't look right. So even here I tried to make this photo look the same. And after that I started with doing these colors again, and more brushing all these layers, brushing and getting all these colors the same as the other one. Right, so I was satisfied with these darker and lighter areas, and after that I started with blending this better together. So I used gradient maps here, so I tried a little bit of gradient here, gradient maps. Try different gradient maps and see which one looked best. I even tried the blue one here, as you can see, but it wasn't the final result, so I got rid of that and made it black and white and add some soft light to it as a gradient. After that I just checked it again and added some curves here to make this even lighter, to make that light pop out. So with these curves you can make this effect like there's some sort of spotlight coming in between us. After that I imported this into Lightroom and I used my presets to make this even better and make this look softer. So if you check the link in the description, you can find these presets if you want to, or you can just use Lightroom without presets and play around with the settings. But I like to use my presets because you can see here that it looks a lot different, and I like this. And it made it even look like some sort of painting or something. So this looked pretty cool, and I used a couple of presets, I think it was 3. So when you're using Lightroom with presets, you can get a really different kind of effect to your image or to your photo or design or whatever. So try those out if you want to and see how that will change your photo or image. After that I opened them up with Photoshop, did some color changes, and that's pretty much it. So this was the final result. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and leave a comment if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. Until then, see you on the next video.